You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome to the Up the Turnpike post-game show. What's going on? Matt O'Leary alongside Mitch Anderson. Mitch, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I don't want to be gross or anything like that, but earlier I was upstairs and I farted and it caught me by surprise. I was not expecting it. And it was so loud that my wife came downstairs to ask me if I was okay.
That's fantastic.
And I don't know what I ate today, but it just did not want to be in my body anymore. in the form of a gas, anyways. I couldn't believe it. And I'm sitting there going like, oh my God. It really just surprised me. But anyways, that's how I'm doing. Surprised.
There you go. I'm surprised as well, but for a very different reason. I'm surprised that the New York Islanders played so well tonight against a team that they are, I'm going to say it in air quotes, chasing for a playoff spot.
We closed the gap, baby. We're now down to, is it 6 points? They have 51. Yeah, and we have 45. 6 points.
Oh,
and a game in hand.
A stone's throw away from a playoff spot. Here come the Islanders.
It's crazy that we're that's still close to the playoff spot, but we're before last in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, second to worst in the Eastern Conference. Shows you the state of the East.
Andre saying 7 points. He's right. We're 6 points back of Columbus, but Columbus is no longer in a playoff position because of today. Boston leapfrogged them with 52 points.
Okay. Sigh of relief. So still 7+ points out of a playoff spot. And it's not that we're necessarily rooting against the Islanders. It's more so we don't want to give the optical illusion of being in the mix and not making the necessary changes, which we've talked about now in the last two post games. This is the second post game in a row where we're talking about that.
Yeah, and it can keep coming. It's going to be the thing of the season for us. And I really want to throw David's comment in here. Lou will do the right thing. Have faith. He's a good GM. Say what you will about how the roster is constructed right now. There's still a good GM in there somewhere, and he does care about this organization. He will do the right thing when the time comes.
I hope so, and I tend to agree with that point too. I think that's where it ends up. But all right, you ready to hop into this game, Mitch? Break it down.
Yeah.
So first period, pretty early into it, Anders Lee takes a tripping call on Dante Fabro, and the streak was over, Mitch. No more the penalty kill. They were 10 for their last 10. Could not get to lucky number 11 here, as they would give up a power play goal against Kent Johnson. Rips one. And I don't know if Sorokin ever saw it, or it was he was in a weird position. Didn't look like this huge shot, but unable to save it, and it goes in.
Yeah, he's probably doing. There's a good screen job there by number 10 from Columbus, whoever the hell that is. It doesn't matter. This Columbus Blue Jackets. Screw that guy. So good job screening Sorokin on that. In a way, at least troubled him enough where he didn't get a clean look, perhaps. But sometimes when it comes to these goalies, there's a little bit more of awareness. Like I was watching Marc-André Fleury. I don't know. I said it in English. Oh my God. Marc-André Fleury today playing for Minnesota. And he's getting this screen from Colorado. And you can see him looking over. Actually, he's looking over to my right, your left, I suppose. And the shot's coming over this side. He sees it. And this is a shot. It's going 80 miles an hour. And he knows okay, here comes the shot. And there he is. That comes with positional awareness that I don't think he had, particularly he being Sorokin on that one shot.
No, not on that play. And the Blue Jackets find the back of the net. The streak is over, as we said at that point. Penalty kill, I thought, played well the rest of the game, which we'll get into more in the second and third period. But that's pretty much the only thing of note in that first. 7 shots for Columbus, 6 for the Islanders. Really not a whole lot going on.
Well, the ice was fairly well tilted in Columbus's favor for a portion of that first period. Not only just leading up to this goal here, but even afterwards. And Patrick Roy had to take a TV timeout and kind of ream the guys, and it changed. The first period changed. I wish I can, not wish, I will bring up Natural Stat Trick to, if I can type properly, which I can't. Always under duress, I can't type properly. Actually, I can't type anyways. Oh, do you have something?
It's unrelated, so we could finish your thoughts. Sorry to just go full color commentator stepping on you there, but it's a little spicy, that which we could talk about after you pull up your numbers.
Okay, perfect. I will do that right here. So you can see in that first period, the Islanders have something, but it starts dipping towards the Columbus Blue Jackets here, right? And then here, the TV timeout, Patty says, "Stacey, le sacrament, let's go do something." I'm sure he said it in English and not in French. And that both the Islanders never looked back, never. And it was key because it turned not only that period around where they dominated near the end. They had the Columbus Blue Jackets hemmed in for a while. They couldn't convert, sadly, as you can tell, but the goals were going to come because they kept playing like that.
Yeah, the goals would come eventually in the second period. Sorry, just trying to react to this one. This one really caught me off guard, but okay. Matthew Barzal caught on the bench.
Oh, right.
Making a comment. Oh, you've seen this already?
Yeah. I don't know if he's saying what I think he's saying, because we're lip reading, right? He says something about the barn being empty, and there's no audio. It's just the lip reading.
No, we're lip reading here, but it looks like Matt Barzal maybe made a comment about UBS Arena being empty.
It's possible. And the first time I saw it, it definitely felt like he was saying something along the lines of barn being empty. But then when I was trying to watch a second time, I'm like, it's not really lining up. But that could be me. It could be me trying not to see that, right? So do with that what you will. He wouldn't be wrong, though, right?
I read it as, this place is fucking empty, fucking joke, bro. That's what I got.
Oh, and he's not wrong. I get it. 18 degrees, which is not cold, by the way, USA.
It is here.
Come on, relax here. 18 degrees. It's like minus 10 Celsius. It was minus 26 today Celsius, and I still went out sledding with the dog. Relax. Have a hot chocolate or something. And it's a Monday, but still, like, I'm not gonna go out and blame people because they don't want to go and pay for this team. I get it. But if the team was good, people would find a way to go out. And I think that's why he's saying it's a joke, because he realizes, like, we're shit right now, guys, and people aren't coming out to see us because we're shit.
That's what my reaction. Play better at home. Specifically at home, they've been mostly bad this year. They've won their last two, but they were under 500 at home, and their special teams are horrible.
Yeah, and like Andre says, like, put a better product out there, and people will come to see it. We'll go through 18 degrees, which is still kind of warm, to go see this team.
Not for us. We were not ready for that today. Clearly, as the barn was half empty, but there were a lot of comments on that, and that was my first time seeing the video. So apologies to derail, but thought it was worthy to bring up and maybe talk about.
Yeah, I will. Hands up, Richard. That's fair. You're living 90 minutes away. That's too friggin' far. Sorry, that's too far to venture, as you're saying, in a snowstorm to go to a hockey game for a team that is not good. I get it.
Yeah, for a team that's not good enough. But anyway, let's get into the second period, because pretty much right away, the Islanders get on the board. 43 seconds in, Bo Horvat on a really nice feed from Matthew Barzal. I love how they set this play up.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful how he sets this up. And watch, he comes in, boom, in. Just Barzal waits for Bo Horvat to do the natural center thing to take the center of the ice, and it's in. It's just delicious.
Win a face-off, work it around. Bo gets lost, go to the front of the net, put it in the back of the net. Beautiful.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why we can't keep having that, right? Like Nick says, Bo and Barzy should never have been separated. Why they separated them when Barzy got back is beyond me. Chemistry there is real.
Yeah, I think it's very good. They need to find someone to play with them. Maybe that's a trade deadline / off-season issue. But 2/3 of that is very good. And like we talked about in the last post game, things you should be rooting for, guys who are going to be here. Matthew Barzal and Bo Horvat will be here, and Bo heating up with the goals is a good thing, even if you don't necessarily want this team to win and put up the facade that they're getting back in the mix.
Yeah, and like 3 goals doesn't always win you a game. It should in normal circumstances, but only if you're a good team. If you're a good team, you should win by scoring 3 goals. The Islanders, as we know, are not a good team. So scoring 3 goals is no guaranteed, specifically when they're all in the second period. But, that means that we're going to have players put up some production, even though we're going to lose. So you got to cheer for the guys putting up some points going into next year.
Absolutely. Casey Cizikas would take a tripping call shortly after that goal goes in. So Islanders pretty much go right to the penalty kill. And the old duo links back up. The shorthanded boys, JG Pajot and Simon Holmstrom. They do it again.
The shorty boys.
Yeah, the shorty boys. They're back at it again. Look at this.
Yeah,
Beautiful
good interception. Oh, the shot.
Executed perfectly. Simon Holmstrom up to 10 goals on the season. And you know what? We can root for Simon Holmstrom too. Yep. Young player who's finding his groove here. I'm not saying, Simon Holmstrom's going to be some star, but good third line player.
Yeah, and completes that third line, right? I think there's even a comment here about that third line. I'm sorry if I skip over it or I miss it. Yeah, I think that it's here. Oh no, wait, sorry. He's talking about Danny Nelson, Cole Eiserman. Completely different thing. I just saw third line and my brain made the connection. But he kind of completes that third line, even though they're not actually here using said third line as shorthanded. But that PK, specifically this one here, I understand it converts here with Simon Holmstrom and Jean-Gabriel Pajot. But leading up to it, that penalty kill was fantastic. They had so many opportunities in that offensive zone that they didn't need to have. The Columbus power play was horrendous on the day, and the Islanders capitalized greatly.
Yeah, they were able to capitalize on that advantage and score shorthanded, which is always nice. They kill off the rest of the penalty, and then they themselves would go on the power play as Fantilli takes a interference against Noah Dobson. And then Mitch Bo Horvat scores again on another beautiful feed for Matthew Barzal. Please, more of this.
Yeah, even better feed. If you thought the first one was great, watch this one, how he dipsy doodles. He pulls almost of Peter Forsberg, where he dekes everyone in the rink. Just look at this. And then he finds him. Boom.
Oh, thanks. I love Bo Horvat's one-time shot, and he scored it twice tonight. But like anytime you have Barzal doing his thing, skating around, and then finding Horvat to utilize that shot, I think that's that line. I know this was technically a power play, so not really like a line, let's say, but that duo, that's when they're at their best.
Yeah, they're finding themselves on the ice, and Barzy's doing his thing and he's just holding up play. And they talked about it on the broadcast, right? Butchie's saying like sometimes you just have to have a guy to realize what he needs to do to complete the duo. And for Bo Horvat, it's like, okay, I'll give up my share of the puck, knowing that Barzy's going to put it on my stick if I put myself in a good position. So if I do the latter, I'll just score all the goals, which you need to do.
Yeah, and it's been going. Again, 2 goals tonight, up to 16 on the year. Had a bit of a slow start, but I wanted to pull up his numbers at least in the last few games. 2 goals tonight, and in the previous 5 had 4 points. So 6 points in his last 6 games.
Pretty good. Point per game player. Like, we're not asking him he needs to be a 100-point player. That'd be great. But it's nice to see him scoring at a point per game and it almost looking effortless. Right.
Yes.
Obviously it wasn't, but it was off a piece of improvisation from Matthew Barzal. So excellent stuff there. And yeah, so we're up 3-1 and it's at this point, we still have more than half of the game to go. So in any way is it comfortable for us watching this at all.
No, definitely not. But a strong second period, 3 goals, 3 unanswered. They wouldn't give one up in the second, and they outshot Columbus 12-9 in the period.
Yeah, it was one way. Although, to be fair, I thought Columbus looked a little flat. I don't know why they were flat today, but they certainly were. They looked a little leggy as well. It wasn't really clicking for Columbus today. It just, not that it wasn't their day. They just weren't doing much, and at least not in the second period.
No, definitely not. Want to get into the third?
Yes.
Not much in the goal department. Obviously, no goals, but we do have to start with a Noah Dobson potential injury, as he goes down awkwardly. Oops, sorry.
Right there.
Oh, the leg. He went down very gingerly. Here, I'll play
right
it again.
Right there. Oh,
ooh, it gives me the willies. I don't like looking at that.
Right, because his foot is the other way, and his leg bends.
He was able to skate off on his own. He did not return, though. I'm that's the first reason why I pulled up Twitter, is because I was looking for an update on Noah Dobson, and then I saw the Matthew Barzal clip. But I'll let you know if we hear or if Patrick Waugh mentions anything. But I'd be surprised if we get any update on that.
Exactly, because they've got a 4-day break coming up. They're going to take their time to evaluate it and figure out exactly what it is. If it needs to be evaluated, like you said, he walked off the ice on his own, so that's a good sign. I feel like it's some sort of hyperextension, which I think just needs a little bit of rest. But again, I'm not a doctor. My degree's in political science. Don't you could ask me about Hegel and Kant, but not about knees. But at least him getting off on his own makes it seem like maybe it's not as bad as it is, as we think it might be. So with the 4-day break, I'm sure they're going to take their time to just not say anything whatsoever.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we get any updates. Again, I'll keep an eye out, but I wouldn't expect anything there.
Right, exactly, which is fair. But from then, like, we're gonna have to. This is gonna play a factor in our little game at the end, where we're going, who's gonna have the most ice time for defensemen?
Yeah, that's gonna play a big factor in this one. Not crazy surprised, but we'll get to that when we get there, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
In the rest of this period, Mitch, the Islanders would kill off one more penalty for good measure. And then there was a 4-on-4 as Pierre Engvall mixed it up a little bit.
Just getting chippy. I don't know. Where was it? Yeah, there it is, from State of Survival. I was looks so unnatural. Engvall trying to act tough. At least he's trying.
Yeah, we've asked him to try use the body a little bit more. So I was glad that he added some physical presence, if you want to call it that, to his game tonight.
I didn't like his game throughout it. That was something, I suppose. He gets the mitt in the face and he takes exception to it, and totally fair. I would do the same.
Valid, yeah.
But other than that, I thought there wasn't a whole lot there.
The other thing of note for me in this period, two things actually.
Yeah.
First is, so the Blue Jackets, down 2 goals, pulled their goalie relatively early, and the Islanders may be allergic to scoring empty net goals because they were so passive, trying to set up like the perfect pass. Like, no, you take it, and then a couple times, even Kyle Clutterbuck, who was on the broadcast tonight, was like, Brock could have took a couple extra strides and then tossed it on the net. He feels like he rushed it, and it's like, this is like the little things, man. Just you gotta bury your chances.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And yeah, we're not going to kill them for it. You're up 3-1, whatever. It doesn't change the outcome, but it's attention to detail in key moments that we're looking for, not only there, but throughout the rest of the game. And that's why we get caught, is we don't have that attention to detail. We get caught napping on a lazy play, and then it gets in the back of our net. Thankfully didn't here, though.
Thankfully, because the other point I was going to mention is Ilya Sorokin, I thought, made a couple big saves with the net empty, which was nice. I wanted to see that score remain 3-1.
Yeah, it's some really big scrambles in our own zone when they had the extra attacker, and just stepping into the shot and just getting something on it. So good job by him, showing that he can actually do something, because there's a lot of doubts around Sorokin right now, and rightfully so. But I thought tonight he was pretty damn good.
Yeah, he was. The one goal he gave up was maybe questionable. It was a power play goal against, but after that, I thought he was stellar.
Yeah, agreed.
So anyway, let's pull up some more numbers here before we get into ice time. So we'll take a look. Shots on goal, 26-25. Blue Jackets with one more. Face-off percentage, 68% for the Islanders. They were pretty dominant in the face-off dot tonight. Power play, 50%, 1 for 2. And penalty kill, they went 1 for 4 on the PK, which 25%. You'll take it. I know the streak finally ended, but that's what, 1 for their last 14 opportunities. Like, yeah, much better, clearly. 10 penalty minutes to 6, 40 hits to 27.
Ooh.
A lot of hits. Block shots, 25-14. Giveaways, 15-9. And takeaways, 6-1. Islanders with more.
That hit number is kind of surprising. I know we don't win the shot game, perhaps the shot on net game, but we win the Corsi battle 68-52. So we had the puck on our stick quite a bit, 57% of the time. That's crazy that we still wound up with 40 hits.
Gatcomb has 8 listed.
He's been good, man. There's another comment in here about Gatcomb, and if I can find it, I will. I don't know if I can search here for that. I don't want to screw it. There it is from Richard. I found that Gatcomb was noticeable tonight. I hope that Roy keeps him in mind and Martin out.
Yep, I would agree.
It's his pace. The pace of play that he has on top of these other things that he's doing, a huge increase. Like, we don't need Martin's going to do what? Like, fight someone? Who cares? Whatever. This guy can play 8 minutes and do well and keep up the pace of play. Win.
You most nailed his ice time, by the way.
8:01. Look at me go. I'm on fire today.
Speaking of ice time, let's do it. Who's leading the way for Islanders forwards tonight?
Watch me shit the bed right away. I said I'm on fire. I'm going to say it's Matthew Barzal with all those power play minutes.
Not a bad guess, but Bo Horvat by a pretty significant margin, 21 minutes, 42 seconds. Next closest, Brock Nelson at 20:53.
Oh, damn, I lost the pick too. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, that sucks, but whatever. It makes sense. He's got the 2 goals. You want to get him out there, try to get the third one. So, yeah, and he's a center. He takes important faceoffs. He plays in all 3 situations.
He was excellent in the faceoff dot tonight. I want to get the final number, 78.6% for both him and Pajot, both 78.6.
That's insane. The good job by them. It's not a key element of the game, but it's still an important element. If you're preaching puck possession, but you're shit in the power and on the faceoff, you can't really do that. So good job by them.
That's what I was gonna say. You gotta win your faceoffs to get the puck. So,
yarp. Least amount of ice time, I'm going to say is, I'm going to say it's Mark Gatcomb.
It's Kyle McLean at 709.
There's the name I had in mind, and I was going, nah, you know what? Because he's a center, I bet he's not the last guy. Sure enough, he is. Although Mark Gatcomb, good job by you getting more minutes.
Yeah, he got almost a minute more, 801.
Earned it. He friggin' earned it. He's going to be the next Hudson Fasching, isn't he?
Yeah, we'll love him for 15 games, and then be like next year it's gonna be like, whatever happened to Marcus Gatcomb?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Defense. I assume it's Ryan Pulock.
You assumed correct. 25 minutes and 3 seconds for Ryan Pulock.
Yeah, that full power play that he basically got, because they don't have another power play defenseman in the third period, really sealed it for me.
Yeah. Pellick was second at 24:08.
Okay. Least amount of ice time, I assume it's Isaiah George at 16 minutes?
No. It's Isaiah George, but not nowhere close to 16 minutes, unfortunately. 9 minutes and 57 seconds.
This is Joe's asking in relation to that. Can he be a number 1 D-man? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's in the cards.
No. I think he's fine. A third pair for right now. 957 is pretty low. He did take a penalty in this game. And I wonder how that impacted the rest of his ice time, because it wasn't a great penalty that he took.
Right. And even Jeremy's like maybe a second pair guy. I think that's the ceiling on George being a second pair guy, but not a number 1 guy. I would love that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, Isaiah George took his penalty halfway through the second period at 9 minutes and 48 seconds.
At 9:48. So he is in the second. Yeah, he doesn't see the ice till 11:48. So another 2 minutes.
Well, that would make sense because he was in the box for 2 minutes.
Right. Okay. But then he's back on the ice at 13:27. That's his last shift of the second period. He's on the ice from 13:27 to 14:19.
And then didn't. Okay. So not a ton of time. What about third?
He gets 4 shifts in the third at 1:34, 7:59, 11:19, 15:54. That's it.
Okay. So they used him very sparingly today.
Yeah. So, yeah, but just whatever. But yeah, 9 minutes, that sucks.
Yeah, not great. So last one, Ilya Sorokin stopped 25 of 26, a 962 save percentage. Much more like it from Ilya tonight.
Yeah, boost those numbers up, baby. Boost them up. That's all we're asking for.
Boost it. All right, want to do some comments before we hop out of here for the night?
Yeah, so starting off with Jeremy, they're doing well with shot suppression, which was key. I took under 2.5 shots for Zach Werenski today. He's been averaging like 5 point something in his last like 10 or 12 games. But I knew because the Islanders have been suppressing shots really, really well of late that he wasn't going to do it. Lo and behold, he did not. Only had 1 shot on net today. Money in the bank. That was plus money to it, plus 125. Oh,
nice.
Yes.
That's a win.
How far away do you project Quinn Finley, Danny Nelson, and Cole Eiserman to be joining the Isles? What about you, Matt? What do you say to that?
I think Cole Eiserman first, and I know he's the youngest, and he potentially maybe he goes back to college next year, but I'm buying all the Cole Eiserman stock. I am all the way in on Cole Eiserman.
Yeah, I don't know if he goes back. It's going to depend on who our GM is going to be at that time. If it's Lou Lamoriello, probably, and should, because he's not going to get a sniff at the NHL level. But if it's someone else, maybe. It's just the thing is that he's going to have to declare going pro, because if he goes to training camp, he's not going back to the college level.
And do you want him? Do you want him back in Bridgeport?
Absolutely not. Stay the hell away from Bridgeport.
Stay the fuck away, man, from that disaster.
Yeah, when it comes to Quinn Finley, even then, I'd probably say stay away. You're better off, although he's dominating right now. Danny Nelson, I think they're another 2 years away, as is probably Cole Eiserman, but he's got the better brand, if you will, right now.
Yes.
Nick saying I really hope it doesn't get Lou thinking. We have to sell. Yeah, totally agree that we have to sell. So Jeremy's looking forward to that sell with the cap space from Nelson Palmieri's contract off the books at the end of the year. Would you go after a free agent like Nikolai Ehlers? I think he'd be a nice fit alongside Barzal and Bo.
I like Ehlers. He's a little bit older than probably the kind of guys that I'm looking to bring in, because he'll be 29 in next month. So I worry what kind of because he's probably going to get a 7-year deal in free agency. So that's another guy locked up through, his mid 30s, and he's probably going to get, I don't know, $8 million.
Probably.
I mean, he's a point per game guy this year.
Yeah, and he's having a contract year. I think that Winnipeg is going to do whatever they can to keep him. I don't think he walks.
Okay.
Unless he just doesn't want to stay in Winnipeg, but why? He's having such a good time and putting up points.
And they've been good. So
yeah. Steve is as RIP to the ligament in Dobson's right knee. It's not looking good.
Didn't look good.
Yeah. And then a few comments about the same thing right in a row here. We're like, so typically to win these two games after losing the first two, 5 out of 7, though, too bad a million teams are still in front. And kind of Andre doing the same thing. Ticks me off that the Islanders only start playing well when they're pretty much out of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, they needed this effort the whole year. You can't turn it on in January and be like, oh no, we're going to be fine now. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly. Mercy saying a win, but trades must happen, starting with Nelson and Palmieri. So sentiment is the same there.
Yeah, exactly. Keep, if you're going to win, fine, but don't change anything with your future planning.
Mm-hmm. Steve's been looking at the PK here. Last couple of games, they're attacking in the neutral zone, which is, they mentioned that in the broadcast as well. And we saw it specifically today on that one where Simon Holmstrom scored that shorthanded goal. They're stopping it or trying to stop it before it even enters the zone.
Exactly. Much more aggressive, which I like to see that. And it worked on that specific PK.
Exactly. What is Michael saying here about the New York Post? Probably garbage because it's New York Post. New York Post article, Islanders turn in effort worthy of a playoff contender to beat Blue Jackets in critical game.
I'm assuming that's tongue-in-cheek. I'm
assuming so as well. Garrett, when Clutterbuck is giving scoring advice.
That's how you know.
He always had a good shot, but obviously, Clutter was what Clutter was.
What's his career high in goals? Like 16?
I think that's right. Yeah, something. It's double digits, but it's not 20.
No, 19. He scored 19 in 2011 with the Wild.
Yeah. So there you go. Joe's asking, will 3 or 6 number get traded? So that's Pelech or Pollock.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I really don't. It's just the term on those contracts and their age, and Pelech is playing better. Pollock is playing as well as he normally does. I just don't think that there's going to be a big market for those guys.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And then Spiz is gloating, I guess. I haven't watched the college football playoffs, but are the Buckeyes winning or have won?
Yeah, so they were last I saw it was 31-15, which is good. So glad Spiz gets to see one of his teams win. Yeah. And thankfully he's never said anything bad about Ryan Day ever. So
I don't know who that is, but good job. Okay. Does he say bad things about Ryan Day? I'm assuming that's why you're bringing it up.
Many times.
So now he's gonna have to praise him. He's gonna have to get a Ryan Day tattoo if they win this national championship.
I think so.
Absolutely. And that's it. That's all we've got for today's show.
Love it. Thank you guys for hanging with us. Islanders back in action on Friday. I'll actually be in attendance at UBS, so maybe I'll see some of you guys there, but we will have you covered on the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you next time.